Okay, so welcome back to some more MX versus ATV Supercross Encore, and today we're going to do some more faster lines on the DLC tracks. I believe this is Supercross Track Pack 3. I don't actually have Supercross Track Pack 2 with, I think it's Charlotte, maybe Kansas City, Cleveland. I'm not exactly sure what tracks are in that one. I don't have that purchased on the Encore version. I have it on the original game, but not for the Encore version. So if that's something you want to see, I might have to pick that up. Let me know. It took me a while to put this one together. I don't ride the DLC tracks too often, so these lines are lines that I think are quick. Some of the bigger lines, they're not time-lapse. I don't know if they're the fastest ones. They're just lines that I think are pretty quick and what I know of. So hopefully they help a little bit. If you want to see more faster lines video, make sure to hit the like button. I will upload the faster lines videos based off of your support. So if you want to see more, hit the like button and let me know in the comments. But let's just jump into this. Alright, so we are at Salt Lake. This is going to be the first track that we're going to look at. Rail this corner, and you can basically jump this, what would have been a wheel tap. I like to take this inside line here. Sometimes it's tough because you can get a little out of control going into that corner. If you rail this corner, I'm not even sure how many this is. I think that's 6. You could jump 6 and then double into the corner. Hit this triple, no big deal, but you want to hit it pretty good because then you want to carry your speed around this next corner. And I struggled here. Not the jumping in, but the jump out. I was having trouble getting over this last one and then having that triple into the corner. Here you can jump onto this last table and then step off. No preload. And the next two sections, I don't really know. Maybe staying to the left is quicker. Staying lower. I like taking the big line just because it's fun. Rail this corner, but you don't need a ton of speed because this line is not too hard to get. It's actually easy to overjump and then get out of control or crash. Have a standard triple, and that is basically a lap at Salt Lake. So next up is Memphis. Now this one, I always get this confused. I always want to call this one Tucson and the next one Memphis, but this is Memphis, I believe. And this track is pretty straightforward. I don't really know what to say. I guess the only thing I'll say is, like this corner here, if you rail this hard enough, you might be able to jump onto that next table there, and then that line would be different. I don't really know. I tried a couple times and couldn't get it, but that doesn't mean you can't. So I'm sure there's guys that probably can. Here you have a quad, and then a triple out. And then this next section here, if you railed this corner hard enough and got a full preload, maybe you could get this last one. I don't know. I tried a couple times again. I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but it just feels like it's a possibility. If you know, let me know in the comments. I'm sure there's guys that can probably get that. I can't, but I'm sure there's people that can. So this is the quickest way around Memphis that I personally know of. Okay, so this is Tucson. Now this initial lap here, I mean, we cut the track pretty hard there. Probably would have landed on a tough block. This beginning lap is not one that would probably work in multiplayer or even against the AI because we kind of cut the track. It might reset you. Plus, like right here, we would definitely be hitting some tough blocks. It was still a fun lap, so I figured I'd throw it in there. And the next one, the second lap at Tucson here, it's basically the same. There's not a whole lot of difference. It's just we stay inside of the track and don't cut it quite as bad. Here, after these whoops, this next section, we hit the same line on the second lap. The only difference is, again, I think here we would have probably hit a tough block. Like right there, I'm sure there would have been a tough block sitting there. Okay, so lap number 2. This one's a little more useful. We didn't preload there, and it doesn't really make a lot of difference, I don't think, because you're still going to jump in and jump out. Everything here is the same as the beginning lap was. I even think I go through this the same. We just don't cut the track quite as hard. Yeah, we actually stayed inside the track this time. Nothing else is really different. The only main difference is right off the starting line there. Instead of jumping onto the table, I just underjumped it a little bit and then had whatever that was, a triple or a quad out. I don't remember exactly what it was. Hit these whoops, rail the corner, and go about the last part of this lap exactly the same. See, you can hit that same line here, even staying inside of the track. And last but not least is Orlando. Now I really like this track. It's not too difficult actually. There's some pretty quick lines here and you can do some pretty fast laps, and this is these two laps are very similar. The second one is basically the same. I just show you one thing different. Everything up to this point is pretty standard. I mean, you could preload that, but I didn't. Have a little double here, a little preload for that quad, and then you can quad out. Is it a quad? I think it was a quad. Quad out, rail these whoops, try and get on top of them because you can get, it sets you up to get into that corner better. Now I only did get a partial preload, so we only quadded, and then, well, we didn't even really get the double out cleanly. And then you can actually jump basically that whole section, and I'll show you that on the next lap. Rail this corner, give it a full preload, basically jumping in and out. I actually slowed up a little bit for that triple, just so I could control myself into that corner. And then here for this section coming up, you could stay to the right or the left. I like to stay to the left. It's a really big line. I know a lot of fast guys stay to the right, but I don't know. I like taking this one. I think this is a pretty quick one too. Okay, and this second lap is basically exactly the same. Again, the only difference is where we did the quad double, we're gonna basically jump all 6. Everything else is the same. We make some mistakes at the very end. We make a pretty good mistake, but good enough that I felt like it didn't ruin the lap or anything. Okay, again, you're gonna want to carry your speed really good into these. It sets you up really nice for that corner, and then give it a full preload. And I tried stretching the bike just a bit, and I didn't get it clean, but you see, I'm sure there's some people that can get all 6 of those cleanly. We didn't, but you can see it's kind of a possibility, I suppose. And we got a little out of control there. Somehow we saved it, and then I take the exact same line here at the end to finish the lap at Orlando. Alright, so that's going to do it for the faster lines at Supercross Track Pack 3. I think this is 3. I should have checked. I think it's 3. I don't think it's 2. But that's going to do it for the faster lines at Supercross Track Pack 3. The track that I struggled with most was Salt Lake. There's that one rhythm section where I talked about that's a really hard line for me to hit consistently. Once the track gets eaten up a little bit and you start to develop some lines in that corner, it actually makes it easier to do the beginning part, jumping in, but jumping out is tougher for me because the face of the jump gets worn down a bit, and I struggle to get that. I'm sure there's guys that can do it, but I personally was struggling with that. So the rest of the tracks were relatively simple. You know, I don't ride these very often. I just got on them, rode a few times, and I felt comfortable enough to try and do a quicker lap. These aren't fastest lines. These aren't the fastest lines. People tell me that I say that they're the fastest lines. I never said they're the fastest lines. I'm saying they're faster, they're quicker lines, because there's definitely slower ways around the track. No how, no way am I a pro at the game. No how, no way am I the best at the game. These are just lines that you can take if you're still learning the game, trying to find something quicker. I'm sure there's guys that know a lot quicker ones. That's not the point of the video. It's not for you. It's not, you already know that. It's for people that don't know the quickest way around the track. So I just want to make that clear. That's what these videos are. Okay? Disclaimer, no how, no way have I said that I'm the fastest, the best, or these are the fastest lines. These are faster ones, quicker ones for people learning the game. Anyways, if you want to see more, make sure to hit the like button and let me know in the comments. I'm going to base this series off of how much you want to see it. So if you want to see it, again, smash the like button, let me know in the comments. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on this series. It really means a lot to me. And until the next video, take it easy.